every sale you miss because you're too enthusiastic. You will miss 100 because you weren't enthusiastic enough. I think this really resonates, obviously, with what I've been saying these first few minutes. You know, I'm not suggesting that you go out and you know, as you're preparing for your meeting, that you drink your Red Bull or your Energizer drink or 2-3 cups of coffee and then you're so hyper. No. You know that's not the intent. It's just actually showing your passion, the passion that kind of emits from yourself. That's why people want to do business with you. So continuing on with what customer-focused selling is, it requires a lot of consistent work and skill development. You know, just like anything we do, the more we practice a skill, the better we get. So focus on that as we continue on with this talk, because I want to understand that, you know, some people, they have the gift of gab, or they get, their interpersonal skills are so powerful, they have that ability to generate sales much easier than others. It's learned. These are learned skills. Over time, as you shine through your genuineness, you too will be able to, generate more sales. So a customer-focused approach should be applied to each sales opportunity, no matter how long it takes. If it's a short, those rare sales that we go to a meeting and they want to buy, I mean, how often does that happen? It happens, and that's great, but it's not the common process. On average, how long would you say it takes for you to close a sale? Just with Workforce Solutions, what would be the average length of time?
Could be a year. I mean, just based upon what the product is.
Okay.
If they do any other services with us, or if it's a brand new client, also has an impact. If there's any, like getting brand new accounts, it's going to take a while to build a trust. You're not going to do it in your first meeting.
Exactly. On average, it can take 6 to 9 months. That's average. Of course, if think about how we are as, individuals when we're thinking about purchasing a new car. I mean, we do our homework, we look at different things before we make a decision, and sometimes it can take, up to 6 months or longer, unless it's that impulsive decision. But on the average, it can take up to 6 to 9 or a year when purchasing a most costly business service or need. So if you want to build your credibility, you have to offer others, you have to first be credible to yourself. And this is all about building and maintaining relationships. The number one, the skill that you should have in anything we do, quite frankly, is being credible, showing that sense of integrity. Your body language, your tone of your voice will tell the clients or your prospects really what you're selling. And believe it or not, and I can't recall if this is on this slide, I don't believe it is, but 7% of your communication are the words that spill out of your mouth. Only 7%. And the majority, I believe it's like 58% or 60% is your body language. Okay? So your body language is a real strength in your toolbox, in your sales toolbox, when you use it effectively to help you build and generate good relationships. You talk about the first impression. Doesn't seem fair sometimes because we do get nervous. It's a natural thing, but people judge us by our first impression, and it goes a long way when we're trying to establish that credibility. Do you know how long it takes for somebody to form a first impression? And we're talking seconds here now, guys.
It's like 3 seconds, 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
5 to 7 seconds. 5 to 7 seconds. We'll take those 2 extra seconds that you give us. So does that seem fair? Unfortunately, no. But that's, we're living in this fast-changing, technology-driven world. People don't have time to sit there and really get to know you. So when you're out there trying to approach, build and maintain those relationships, it truly means that you have to be on your game because you've got 5 to 7 seconds to make that first impression. So you're building and maintaining, and when you're doing that and you're working with a specific, I'm going to take this scenario where you're working with a specific client, prospect that you hope to be a client, you want to know your competition, as you do, right? I mean, Equifax is #1 in terms of the different services that you provide, but in lots of different industries, but there are competitors. So focus on, what you bring to the table, what's different. Not so much the features, because everybody has similar features, but focus on the benefits. benefits that you can provide to them, and that can help differentiate you. You want to focus on your customer and the strength of your own services. Be the expert. Are you familiar with the USP, or unique selling point, or unique selling position? That is what you use. That's your secret weapon when you're going out there to meet with prospects. It helps you differentiate why you're different. And when you have that, and you're the expert, when you're talking, and you have that unique selling point, people will listen because they're engaged. They want to, I didn't realize, they'll ask questions, and you can kind of gauge their temperament and their inclination of continuing on when you're providing all those features and different differentiators. Let me ask you guys now, what is Workforce Solutions USP? What I read, because I always associate Equifax with credit reports, but obviously a very successful business and the solution aspect. I always think of Equifax as solid reputation. You're renowned.
Expertise, reputation.
Yeah. Which is great.
Data security.
What is that?
Data security.
Security. That would be a huge benefit, especially in today's time with everybody breaching and getting into files. What about the technology? It seems like you all are like state of the art when it comes to technology. So focus on those unique selling positions or selling points. That will help you. A quote of one of my favorites, and I have many, but this says, if you are not taking care of your customer, your competitor will. Plain and simple. So I like to look at this slide here. It's just a diagram, and it's common sense, but it's all about what your efforts and your results come to. So if you look at the 4 quadrants, starting with initiate, build, manage, and optimize, and I'll talk a little bit about each quadrant, but it's a circle, just like anything else. The more you work hard, specifically in each quadrant, the better your result will be. Simple, makes sense, right? It's not rocket science. The less work you put into a quadrant,